You drink milk from a cow. You put it in your coffee. You pour it over cereal. You never think twice about it. But here's the question you've never actually asked yourself. Why a cow? Why not a pig? Why not a dog? Why not a rat or a bear or a lion? There are over 6,000 species of mammals on this planet. Every single one of them produces milk. That's the entire definition of a mammal. And yet, out of 6,000 options, humans drink the milk of exactly one handful. Cows, goats, sheep. Maybe camels if you live in the right part of the world. That's it. That's strange. Sit with that for a second. You could theoretically drink milk from almost anything with a spine and fur. So why didn't you? Why didn't your ancestors? The answer isn't really about taste. It isn't about nutrition either. The real answer is a story about violence, biology, and an accident that happened only 10,000 years ago. A blink of an eye in human history. Let's go back further first. Way further. For most of human existence, no adult on Earth could drink milk at all. Not just wouldn't, couldn't. Your body right now only produces the enzyme that breaks down milk sugar when you are an infant. Once you were weaned off your mother, that enzyme was supposed to shut off. Forever. That was the biological deal for every mammal that has ever lived, including humans, for hundreds of thousands of years. So picture an early human 30,000 years ago walking past a wild goat. Even if he caught it, even if he milked it, drinking that milk would have made him sick, bloated, cramping, miserable. His body was never built to process it as an adult. So why do you drink a glass of milk right now without a second thought? Something had to break. Something had to glitch. About 10,000 years ago, in a few scattered pockets of the world, a random mutation appeared, a copying error in a single gene. And this error did something that should have been useless, even harmful. It kept the milk-digesting enzyme switched on into adulthood. In any other era of human history, this mutation would have meant nothing. There was no reason for it, no advantage, just a strange biological fluke sitting quietly in someone's DNA. But then humans started keeping animals. And suddenly, this pointless mutation became one of the most powerful survival advantages a person could have. Think about what a farm animal actually offers you. A goat, once slaughtered, feeds you once. But a goat, kept alive and milked every single day, feeds you for years. It's the difference between spending your savings all at once or having an income. The humans who happened to carry that mutation could tap into a food source nobody else could touch. While everyone else got sick drinking milk, they thrived on it. They had an extra source of calories, protein, and fat in seasons when crops failed and meat was scarce. And when your entire village is one bad harvest away from starvation, that difference isn't small. It's the difference between a bloodline that continues and one that ends. So generation after generation, that mutation spread. Not because anyone chose it, because everyone who didn't have it was quietly, slowly at a disadvantage. This is why, today, if your ancestors came from Northern Europe or parts of East Africa, you can probably drink a full glass of milk with zero problems. But if your ancestors came from East Asia, or large parts of Africa, or indigenous America, there's a good chance milk still makes you sick. Not because anything is wrong with you. Because your ancestors simply never needed that mutation to survive. You are quite literally walking around with a genetic scar from a 10,000-year-old gamble that happened to pay off for some populations and not others. But this still doesn't answer the real question. Why only cows, goats, sheep, and camels? Why not literally any of the other 6,000 mammal species on Earth? Here's where it gets even stranger. Milking an animal requires something almost nothing on this planet allows. It requires an animal that will simply stand there and let you touch its udder, twice a day, without trying to kill you, run from you, or destroy the pen you built to hold it. Try that with a zebra. Zebras look almost identical to horses. Same size, same body shape, same general behavior on paper. But zebras have never been domesticated in the history of civilization, despite people trying for centuries. They panic, they bite, they kick with a level of aggression that has actually put professional zoo handlers in the hospital. A zebra does not forgive you for touching it the wrong way. Try it with a deer. Deer bolt at the first sign of a human hand near their body. Their entire nervous system is built around a single instinct. Run first, ask questions never. Try it with a bear, you will not get a second attempt. Out of 6,000 mammal species, researchers estimate that fewer than 15 have ever been successfully domesticated by humans in all of recorded history. And out of those 15, only a handful were calm enough, herd-oriented enough, and non-aggressive enough to also be milked without your ancestors risking their lives twice a day. Cows made the cut because they're naturally herd animals. They don't panic easily. They accept a hierarchy, and once they accept you as part of that hierarchy, they largely tolerate you. Goats made the cut for similar reasons, plus they can survive on rough, low-quality land where almost nothing else can. Every other option, evolution had already ruled out for you long before you were born. Not because humans lacked imagination, because most of the animal kingdom is either too aggressive, too fast, too easily stressed, or too dangerous to approach twice a day for years at a time. So the glass of milk sitting in your fridge right now isn't just a drink, it's the end result of two separate lucky accidents stacked on top of each other. A random genetic mutation that let a small number of your ancestors digest something they were never supposed to touch as adults. And a random handful of species out of thousands that happen to be calm enough not to kill the person trying to milk them. Every other combination, the mutation without the tame animal or the tame animal without the mutation, leads nowhere. It leads to nothing on your breakfast table at all. Next time you pour milk into your coffee, you're not just drinking a beverage, you're drinking proof of an accident. A 10,000-year-old dice roll that happened to land the exact same way over and over in just enough of your ancestors to hand you an ability that most humans throughout history, and most humans alive on Earth right now, simply don't have. You didn't choose to be able to drink that glass of milk. Something rolled the dice long before you existed, and you just happened to inherit the result.